As marketers, you put your best stuff together, you put it out there. It may take you a while to get it out there, so you're like, well, hopefully this is the right messaging, the right creative. But I definitely think with AI, because you can do it faster, you can really experiment more. We can put a bunch of iterations out there and really land on the one that resonates most with customers. And sometimes it's not the one we would have chosen, but we're like, customers love it, so let's go with it.
The thing that I am most excited about, and I'm so honored that you said yes to do this, is I think about all of the platform shifts that we've been through. AI is the one where, A, it's happening at a pace that I think we've never seen before. But B, the other thing is like the eagerness for leaders to learn from one another. And so I thought, what a better way than to get together industry leaders and talk about what they're hearing, seeing, and to spill the tea. So that was that was the concept.
Oh, this is great.
So
I'm so excited to do this.
So, well, let's dive in.
Okay.
So obviously, in your role, you are not only the commercial chief marketing officer, but you also work for one of the largest and most prestigious marketing services firms. So you've got this double whammy of you are in marketing every day as a function and as a business. And so what difference are you seeing in terms of how marketers are marketing, how we're approaching marketing, how we're approaching engaging customers? What's evolving in the world of marketing?
I think there's two big shifts over the last, even just the last couple of years. One is, you mentioned this a second ago, the speed.
Yeah.
So like just the speed to delivery, speed to market, I think that is just accelerated with AI. But I will say also, what I've noticed about marketers now is this shift from maybe some trepidation around AI and what would it mean to much more excitement.
Oh, good.
And much more,
Good.
hey, this is really a game changer. And I think you see it when marketers realize, oh, I can get campaigns out faster. I can get insights faster. I can understand and build great experiences for customers. Maybe deeper, richer experiences than I could before. And I really think marketers are excited about this now.
Absolutely. I know my team personally went from, hey,
Yeah, exactly.
is this going to replace what I do, to even using tools like Adobe Firefly and being able to create in minutes rich, immersive experiences that would take weeks before. And so it's really this shift of like, wow, I have a greater impact, I can do it faster, and I'm very hands-on too.
Exactly. And I think it's that understanding, like, this isn't, this amplifies what I can do. This supports what I can do, not necessarily, oh, this is totally replacing me. It's more like, look at all the new things I can do now.
Yes, yes. And I do think being the tangibility of it too, being able to kind of have hands on keyboard is new for us as marketers. And I think it's pretty exciting.
Yes.
Well, that leads me directly into my second question. Okay. So how do you gauge the impact that you're seeing of AI in marketing?
I definitely think what we've seen, and in talking to CMOs and talking to marketers, I mentioned this a minute ago, the speed to market, but also just the rich and deep personalization, the way that you can build customer experiences that are highly personalized, highly targeted. Like in the years I've been doing this, back in the day, it would take a long time to get campaigns into market.
We've talked about this.
And now it's like, I can really understand my audience. I can target, I can get to like, hey, an audience of one, and really build that customer journey, that customer experience. And I think that shift has been something that marketers are really embracing. And I really do think they're seeing this, I think in the early days, it was this frenzy of stuff. And now marketers are really understanding, like, it's not just AI frenzy. I'm really seeing the impact of it. I'm really seeing the ROI of it.
Yeah, and starting to understand how to use it, what impact it can have. And one of the things that I've loved is I talked with my team about, months to weeks to almost days.
Exactly.
And that's great because that helps us iterate and get things in front of our customers faster.
Yeah, I think that unlocking that experimentation. So you may think, all right, and this is, what we've seen a lot is, hey, as marketers, you put your best stuff together, you put it out there, and it may take you a while to get it out there. So you're like, well, hopefully this is the right sort of assets, the right messaging, the right creative. But I definitely think with AI, because you could do it faster, you can really experiment more.
Yes.
So what we've seen, especially using our Gen Studio product, we can put a bunch of iterations out there and really land on the one that resonates most with customers. And sometimes it's not the one we would have chosen, but we're like, customers love it, so let's go with it.
That's it. That's the one versus holding your breath and waiting.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
For months of. there's also a lot of fear still in the system. And I think you've said, like, it's starting to really diminish, but there's still a lot of, like, questions and misconceptions of AI. What do you see? What would you guide and counsel people on?
I think that, maybe misconception's the right word, but it is this idea of like, oh, well, I'll get these tools, I'll get these solutions, and they'll be magic. And I think that really what it comes down to is, are you building the right data foundation?
Yes.
Right?
Very much
And this
so.
is something I know from what you guys are talking about is you have to have data. And I totally agree. You have to have that data foundation. You have to understand the data that you have across all of your different groups, right?
Right.
So not just marketing, sales, support, service, like bringing those data sources together, those data streams together, and building this right foundation. I think that's what unlocks AI, and without it, I think you're really sub-optimized on
I think so,
what
too.
you're going to roll out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's only as good as your data. Your AI is only as good as your data. The other thing too that I've seen is just the barrier to entry. I think marketers, will say like, oh, I don't know how to do hands-on keyboard. I don't know how to use these tools. And I think what they're finding too is the ease of use of kind of bringing it into the flow of their work every day, I think is fantastic.
Yeah.
So success metrics, when you think about the shift you're making in your organization, how are your KPIs and your success metrics changing?
I think there's big ones, and earlier I said I definitely see marketers now moving more towards, I can see how AI is driving marketing ROI, driving marketing impact. So we're not only looking at, hey, how quickly can we get campaigns in market? Can we test messaging? Can we test creative? But really looking at how engaged, like seeing an improvement in engaged visits, but more importantly, seeing more people coming to us and engaging with us and being able to personalize an experience.
Yes.
And then being able to see, especially on our side, because we work so closely with sales, hey, how many more sort of opportunities do we get? How much smarter were we on qualifying those opportunities, on really helping the sales teams build out and understand who do we want to talk to? What are the things that are resonating with them? So suddenly I'm much better at not only, speed to a campaign, but then the follow-up, understanding the impact in terms of, hey, what did we create? What was the return there? What was the return on investment? And being able to track it across all of the different channels and then hand it over to sales. So that's been huge.
Yeah, that whole entire life cycle and being able to track through. I think we've got much greater visibility than we ever have
100%.
before as marketers. Okay, so my last question. This is the T question. Okay. I get to see you in public forums and speaking, and you're such a voice in the industry for the impact of marketing and how marketing is a growth lever. So what's the T? What would you spill to the audience? What would you say that maybe others aren't thinking about, or something that you've heard? What's the T?
I honestly am there's so many different work streams, traditional marketing work streams that have been impacted, but I'm really interested to see like what happens now with this concept of like brand discoverability, brand visibility, but then, if you think about so many things that are like, hey, this is my website. Well, now your website is human and agentic, right? Now those experiences are human and agentic. And I just think that's really fascinating. And I think over the next 6 to 12 months, you'll really see an evolution of that. You'll really see an advancement in how are you as marketers thinking about how am I making sure there's great human experiences, great customer experiences, but then how am I also building some great agentic experiences too?
Yes.
Right? Because you want to make sure you have both to really maximize, your chances of showing up however customers are searching, and especially now with things like LLMs.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is almost like marketing is moving from these static set of processes to this more kind of always on fluid environment. And that changes how we think about marketing. Yeah. It's very different than campaign, return.
Yeah. Just like, here's my channel, here's my timeline. It was all very static. And now it's just fascinating to see how I think a lot of these work streams are, being disrupted by AI, but in a good way in a lot of ways. Like much more bringing together, coming together with all the things you can do for a customer and build for a customer now.
Absolutely. One of the things I know you are deeply passionate about is skilling, right? Yes. And as we talk about all of this change that's happening in the industry, that comes with upskilling. Yes. And so how are you thinking about skilling your team, the next generation of marketers?
So, whether it's my team whether it's next generation of marketers, at Adobe, we always think, how do we help marketers and creatives meet this moment?
I love that.
And I think that, marketers are eager to understand, what do I need to know? How should I be using these tools? And I just think that training, reskilling, upskilling, those become critical so that you can really feel like, hey, I'm understanding not only the, maybe the disruption that's happening in the work streams, but how I really understand it, harness it, use it, and really thrive on it. And I think that's where training, reskilling, upskilling, like I said, is critically important. And we have, we've been thinking across Adobe, what are the training courses, certification courses, all of it that we can wrap around so we can help folks really, get good with AI, with the tools, with the solutions.
And are you helping set aside time? Are you doing it kind of in the flow of work? How are you, because that's one of the things I always hear is I don't have time to, do all this training.
No, it's definitely setting aside time. It's encouraging people. It's highlighting not only what we have, but then how folks are using it on the team. So what are people doing with it? How do they do it? How can they share with others? But also making sure people know about the opportunities we have, the programs we have.
Yes.
And I think it's not just once a month or once. It's every week. Hey, what's the latest look like on training? Hey, we have a new program we've added, new quick course we've added, and we try to actually make it really bite sized, so it isn't
I think that's really
here, sit down for 45 minutes.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
sit down for 3 minutes.
And
Exactly.
learn something.
Exactly.
And I think I shared this with you. We've done, and in our team, we did, because again, it's all about learning and sharing and hearing from others. Rocket like a marketer, and so that's been a fun way to get people to say here's what I'm doing, here's what I'm experimenting with, and what they've learned along the way.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, again, I'll come back to I think one of the greatest things is just we're in this period of all learning and understanding what's possible. And it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, we internally think of it as a culture of experimentation. So exactly how do you share what you've learned? How do you share experience? How do you do that on a really regular basis? Because it gets then other people excited about,
what can I do? And I didn't think that was possible.
Exactly.
It's very so. Well, Rachel, thank you so much for being here. It has been an absolute
This was
pleasure.
great. Thank you for having me. I loved it.
Yes, and cheers.
All right.
Yes.
Cheers. Cheers.